Okay, so I just finished watching the pilot episode of Manifest. Um, Full disclosure up front, I'm a bit of a sucker for serialized storytelling like this, or any type of narrative that involves like a group of people kind of like going missing and then coming back years later. Like that's just something that I really, really like. It's a hard show to recommend as much as I liked it, for the simple reason that shows like this are, it has a strong premise, but the problem is a show like this is all about the follow through, and I can't really recommend something if I don't know, like, it's hard to recommend because I don't know if it's going to turn out well, or if it's even going to be given time to kind of end. Because so Lost is a great example where Lost had like a beginning, middle, and end, but there's tons of shows like this that don't get to tell their entire story, so it becomes really hard to tell, like to tell somebody that they should invest their time in something that there's no guarantee that you're going to get any kind of a conclusion. A great example would be a show that probably most people have never heard of called Drive, a show I loved, that only went like 6 episodes, and I don't think they all even aired. Fantastic show, you should check that out as well. It's on iTunes. Anyway, back to Manifest. So basically, a group of people are on flight 828. It's coming from Jamaica to New York, and they land, and they get surrounded by like all of these like police and other authorities, and they're like, "So you've been missing for 5.5 years, and where have you been?" And they're all like, "Well, we just were flying, and then hit some turbulence and landed. Like, there's no, the plane didn't land, didn't go missing. Like, they were just like, we just flew here in like 3 hours or whatever." So it's a really interesting premise. And then some of the people who, or at least that we know of, some of the people who were on the plane have kind of, I don't know exactly what to call it. It's not precognition, but it's kind of almost like, yeah, I don't know. Basically, like, they have this voice. They have a voice in their head that kind of says like, it'll say something like "slow down" or "let them free" or something like that, and it'll be like some kind of hint that'll affect something else. So like, one of the main characters, she's sitting on the bus, and the voice in her head keeps saying "slow down, slow down, slow down." She gets the bus driver to slow down, and like this kid's like running right out into the street, and he would have hit him. Or like, later on, she hears this voice that says, "Set them free, set them free," and her and her brother end up freeing these two dogs at this junkyard, and then it turns out that her ex-fiance is working on this kidnapping case, and those kids were being held at that junkyard. So it's kind of like it's not really precognition, I don't know what you call it, but it's an interesting premise, but it's hard to recommend simply because I can't guarantee that there's going to be a satisfactory conclusion. And the big finale for the episode, spoiler warning, I should have probably said that up front. Anyway, so the big finale of the episode is all of the people who were on this plane gather at where it's being held, and then the plane explodes. Yeah, it seems like a really interesting show, and I'm definitely going to keep watching, but I find it hard to kind of recommend to other people that, like, you should invest your time into something that there's no guarantee that there will be a good payoff. I really wish for shows like this, because I think this was NBC. I wish they would kind of come out and say, we're guaranteeing you're going to get 2 seasons, or something like that, where at least you're guaranteed a certain level of commitment from the network, because obviously there isn't that. And I understand, like, that's kind of impossible for a network to do, but it would definitely, I think, make a lot more people interested in investing their time into it. But yeah, if this is the kind of thing you think you might like, definitely check out Manifest. If you're not somebody who's into long-form storytelling or anything like that, this isn't going to be for you. I don't think it's going to change your mind on that kind of like style or format. But yeah, so that's going to be it. My review of the pilot for Magnum will be up in the morning. So until then, bye.